Hello everyone, this is DJ and the Jumbo Commander YouTube channel. Today I want to talk about the top 8 I win cards in Commander. Now I'm not just talking about combo cards. Yes, Doomsday will win you the game. And also, I win the game cards will win you the game, like Approach of the Second Sun. But I want to explore the high upside cards that help you win games of Commander, particularly out of nowhere. Now, I'm also going to try not to give you 8 cards that you've already heard of and seen before over and over and over again. Torment of Hailfire, Expropriate, Craterhoof Behemoth, all of these win games, that's true. But they don't really win games out of nowhere. People are automatically expecting the Craterhoof Behemoth when you have a board full of mana dorks. When Mono Black gets Cabal Coffers and starts producing tons of mana, you're just waiting for that Torment of Hailfire to kill you. These 3 cards are played in thousands upon thousands upon thousands of decks. All the I win cards that I mentioned today are just represented in a couple thousand decks across EDH Rec, and some of them are even in the hundreds. So number 8 is Insurrection. Just kidding. Insurrection is boring. It's won a ton of games of Commander. It's in a bunch of different decks. And its super high mana cost means that it's a lot narrower than some other cards, specifically other cards that deal with combat. Illusionist's Gambit, Reigns of Power, and Disrupt Decorum. These are all favorites of mine because they're so tricky and they make your opponents turn their creatures against each other. I want to particularly look at Disrupt Decorum because this has won me more games than any of these combat-related cards. 2 red for a sorcery, goad all creatures you don't control. This steals games from opponents because it sends their creatures at each other and it leaves their battlefields open for your own attack, finishing people off. Number 7 is Berserk. This single green instant can make creatures gigantic and super threatening. It says target creature gains trample and gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is its power. And at the beginning of your next end step, destroy that creature if it attacked this turn. Berserk can double the power of your powerful creatures. This goes great in Xenagos decks because it doubles and doubles. Malignus can one-shot opponents. This combines really well with cards that have Infect with huge commanders, with effects like Double Strike, Wrecking Ogre, pumps power and gives double strike. Because Berserk is only a single green mana, this can be deployed at any time, including on your opponent's creatures. Someone has a big creature rumbling into a different opponent, bam, Berserk it gets huge, and that problematic creature is gone at the end of combat. The number 6 card that just wins games is Insult to Injury, particularly the insult part. 2 and a red for a sorcery, damage can't be prevented this turn. If a source you control would deal damage this turn, it deals double that damage instead. Double damage is huge. It turns a tiny force into something that can kill. Similarly, I like to think of Dictate of the Twin Gods as being another one of these effects. It's a flash enchantment, and again, it doubles damage. If you start stacking double damage effects, things get nutty. You often see effects like this combined with commanders like Heartless Hedetsugu or even that Xenagos I previously mentioned, but it doesn't have to be. Any commander or any deck that wants to be attacking can definitely benefit from double damage, and it can just close out a game. Number 5 in my top 8 is Tainted Strike. A single black instant gives a target creature +1/+0 and Infect until end of turn. That Infect kill out of nowhere is so sweet. Again, like the Berserk I mentioned, it doesn't have to be on your own creature. Someone attacks with like a 9-powered big bad, and suddenly someone else is out of the game. Tainted Strike is very, very sneaky. And it's definitely more sneaky than some of the other effects like Triumph of the Hordes. That's just overplayed, it's in a ton of different decks, and it's not a really interesting way to win. Same thing with Grafted Exoskeleton. They see that Infect kill coming, but Tainted Strike's aggressive mana cost, instant speed, and flexibility gives you the ability to kill people in a moment's notice. Similarly, it also combines well with Heartless Hedetsugu and Xenagos and a lot of these other creatures that just can deal some damage and just need a little bit of push to get over the top. Now, before I reveal the top 4 of this spicy list of I win cards, I want to thank my sponsor, TCGplayer.com. If you want to support the Jumbo Commander YouTube channel, click on the link in the description before you buy your singles, and you can see all of these cards in a list and one extra spicy I win card if you click on the link in the description. All right, let's get to the top 4. One thing that I love to do in Commander is punish greedy mana bases. And this next enchantment is a little bit slower than these other I win cards, but it definitely has inevitability. Primal Order. 2 green for an enchantment out of homelands? Yes. During each player's upkeep, Primal Order deals 1 damage to that player for each non-basic land he or she controls. I play against people where this will just do 15 damage, dead. And it just comes out of nowhere. This can slot into a bunch of really strong mono green decks, and you don't care if you take a couple damage from your utility lands. This will punish so many players at the table. But if you play in a meta where everyone runs just basics, let's punish those big ramp decks with a card called Treacherous Terrain. 6 red-green, getting into that high mana cost territory, but Treacherous Terrain deals damage to each opponent equal to the number of lands that player controls. I've seen this do 20 plus damage, and that's because people go crazy with ramp. There's so many decks out there that just stick lands on the battlefield. Find a way to punish them. And this also doesn't punish you because it has basic land cycling. If you need to get rid of this 8-drop for something relevant like your own land drop, cycle it away and get something great. Next, we have another powerful enchantment that might as well just read, "You win the game." Vicious Shadows is 7 CMC. Whenever a creature is put into a graveyard from play, you may have Vicious Shadows deal damage to target player equal to the number of cards in that player's hand. This is Commander. People are going to have cards in their hand. I've played Vicious Shadows before when people have like a 20 card hand with Reliquary Tower out, and they're just sitting in fear, held hostage by the enchantment on the battlefield. I also love that it's any creature. Literally, I can attack into a completely different opponent. We trade creatures away, and I can send all of this damage at a third opponent that's just sitting there hoarding resources with their Consecrated Sphinx. Vicious Shadows can come down and suddenly board wipes end games. It totally changes the dynamic of a game, and it puts you in control. I also want to mention another shout out which is similar to this, and it's Bloodchief Ascension. Now, I don't have this as an I win card because it takes a little bit to get going. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent lost 2 or more life this turn, put a quest counter on it, and then it finally gets active if you have 3 or more quest counters. But the ability on this enchantment is insane. If a card goes into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, from the hand, from the battlefield, through milling, and Bloodchief Ascension has 3 counters on it, you may have that player lose 2 life. If you do, you gain 2 life. This is a huge swing, and again, punishes board wipes, punishes creature combat. It makes the game a mess. But I'm going to put Vicious Shadows as my pick, also because, well, it's way less money, and it can just win the game almost instantly. All right, we're down to top 2, and this one is in so few Commander decks it has me confused. It's Heavenly Blademaster. 5 and a white for a 3/6 angel with flying and double strike. Those are pretty good stats on its own, but Heavenly Blademaster keeps going. When it enters the battlefield, you may attach any number of auras and equipment you control to it. It's pretty good. It gets around those expensive equip costs and makes your double striking Evasive Angel hit even harder. But there's more. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 for each aura and equipment attached to Heavenly Blademaster. This is a huge anthem too. How on earth is this creature not dominating our Commander games? It's going to hit so hard, and it's going to hit fast, because these aura and equipment decks, they include cards like Lightning Greaves that immediately get sucked onto the Heavenly Blademaster, and you're attacking in for tons of damage. It includes big equipment like Loxodon Warhammer. It's also going to get double triggers from the double strike, so Bloodforged Battle Axe will trigger twice, creating 2 more. All of those Swords of will trigger twice as well. It can even suck up big equip costs like Colossal Hammer, although it won't be able to fly anymore, but that's okay when you're dealing 26 damage. And then also could just kill someone out of nowhere with Grafted Exoskeleton, because again, that 5 damage double striking can just immediately knock someone out of the game. And that doesn't even factor into any other creatures you have on the battlefield. This sucks up 3 equipments and it's antheming for +3/+3 to your whole team. A few stupid dorks and utility creatures are now a huge threat, and that's what this card is, a threat that will end games. And then finally, what's the number 1 of this top 8 list? Well, it's Hatred. Hatred is 3 black for an instant, pay X life, target creature gets +X/+0 until end of turn. You are using life as the ultimate resource, and that is taking your opponent out. This goes perfectly in life gain decks. You'll see it in Oloro, you'll see it in Karlov decks. It goes really nicely on a lifelink creature. But most importantly, this can go on anything, and it just takes someone out. It might leave you particularly vulnerable after the fact, but isn't that really on flavor for a card titled Hatred? This is the most expensive card on the list, coming in at $15 because it's on the reserved list. So if you like this card, it might be good to buy one. So remember, I got some links down below. I particularly want to thank my patrons. Thank you so much, patrons. You help me out so much, and thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments or with a thumbs up if you like top 8 videos. I had a few of them I was kicking around, but there have been so many commanders to talk about, I haven't had a chance to go into them yet. And I think I'm going to be a little bit busy coming up because we have Commander 2019 coming out so soon. I'm super stoked about that. So make sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon so that you can find out all the great Commander 2019 cards and strategies that are coming out really soon. All right, everyone, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.